All right, everybody, welcome back to video number 3. We're going to go through how to actually draw these 3 circuits. All right, so a reminder, you're supposed to be drawing them using the circuit symbols in the file that I left for you. Now, a little trick that I told you at the end was you can actually create them in that PhET program. That PhET website, and then you can actually click on the little symbol at the bottom right and it'll convert it into symbols for you. So that should make it a little bit easier. Now, here are the 3 that we're going to do. You are also supposed to, as part of it, describe the 3 images. So you have to make sure you say whether it's complete or incomplete, whether it's controlled, open or closed, fused, or short circuit. Right? Now, let's go over to here. Now, it's probably easiest to build them quickly in here and then switch it over to symbols, so then you can actually kind of take that and translate it over onto a piece of paper. It might be easier for you to draw. So just a little tip here. The bottom right-hand corner, you can see this little circle with an arrow. If you have stuff on here that you don't really need and you need to start over, if you click on that, everything disappears and you can start over. Okay, so let's do the first one. All right, so we've got a battery here, we have a light bulb here, we have a switch here, and you can see that the light bulb is on and that the switch is closed. All right, so let's try to recreate that. So we've got a battery over here, and we have a light bulb over here, upside down, and we have a switch up here, and then we have some wires. All right, so let's go a wire from there to there, a wire from there to there, and finally a wire from there to there. All right, now, the one last thing, notice the light bulb is on, and that is because the switch is closed, so we have to click on that to close the switch. So, it looks like we have reproduced what we have here, right? Now, your next step is you need to draw this out. Well, to draw this out, we're going to need to figure out what the symbols are. So, if I do this, and then I click on that to get rid of the current, I can get a general idea of what those symbols look like. All right, so there's my battery, there's my switch, there's my light bulb. Now we're going to use a little bit of a different symbol for the light bulb. You'll see a lot of different ones in different places. Okay, so let's draw. So we have, and I'll switch back and forth so we can see it as we go along. We have up here in the top left, we have, there we go. So we've got over here, we have our battery. All right. Now, something to notice when you're drawing a battery, there's one big line and then a little line. That actually represents a single cell. Now, if you have a more powerful battery, it'll have more than one cell. So it will have big and then little, and then big and then little, and then big and then little. Now, we don't need that for what we're drawing, so we can get rid of those, all right? And another thing that you should be putting in is positive and negative symbols. That tells you that this is the negative side and that this is the positive side, all right? So then next we have our switch, and you can see that it was closed, so the line is going to attach. Now, if you want to draw an open switch, you would draw it like this, with the line up like that. Okay, so go back, and then our next was the light bulb down here. Now, when we draw in a light bulb, there are a number of different symbols that you will see. Now, the one that was on the website kind of looked like this, right? That's a fairly common one. But the easiest one is just to simply draw an X to it. Okay? So that is what it would look like if you were to draw this as a circuit diagram. All right? So battery, battery, switch, switch, light bulb, light bulb. All right? So now we have to describe it. Is this complete or incomplete? So remember, a complete circuit means it has a power source, it has a load, it has a controller or a switch, and it has wires. So it has all four of those components, so we would say this is a complete circuit. Now, is it controlled? Yes, because we have a switch, so we could also say it's controlled. All right. Is it open or closed? Well, that switch, the light bulb is on, so it's closed. And then finally, is it fused? No, there's no fuse in here. Is it a short circuit? No, there's some control to it. All right, so that's it for that one. All right, our next one, we have this circuit here. So in the bottom left, we have a battery. You can see there's a wire that comes out. There's a switch that is open, and then it comes back to the battery. Okay, so our second one, we start off with the, well, let's do this first. All right, we'll do it on here first. So we've got, start this all over. We've got battery, that, and then we've got wires coming out of it, and wires coming over here, and then wires coming over here, and then we've got another wire over here, we have a switch, and then finally we have a wire that goes back. Whoops, made a mistake. We'll fix that in a second, so don't worry if that looks a little bit wrong, okay? To the battery, and we can see that it is open. All right, now, if we want to, oops, sorry. Oops. That's the wrong spot. Should go there. All right, so that's better. All right, so now, if we want to draw this, it looks like that. So let's draw it. All right, so if you look closely, you can see there's the battery symbol, there's the switch, and the rest are wire. All right, so we draw our battery symbol, and wire coming out, across, and then there was a switch, and in this case it was open, and back to the battery. All right, now, take a good look at that. Is that a complete circuit? Do we have a battery? Yeah, we've got a power source. We have a switch, so we have a controller. We have wires, but we don't have a load. So this is an incomplete circuit. And what happens in an incomplete circuit without a load if we decide to flip the switch? Fire. All right, so that is obviously not a safe circuit. So this is an incomplete circuit. It is, because there is no load in it, also a short circuit. Now, luckily, it is open. Otherwise, there would be fire. But as soon as we close that switch, fire. All right? Okay, so now let's go back and look at our third one. And our third one is simply a battery with a wire. That's it. So let's try drawing that. So we'll reset again. Got a battery. And we've got a wire that comes out of it. Let's do this. We're going to need multiple wires because it won't let you attach one wire to each end. And you can see immediately that a fire starts. Why? Because this is, again, a short circuit. All right? So there's our symbols. Let's turn the current off so we can see it. There's our battery. There's our wires. All right, so let's draw it. We have our battery at the bottom, and we have a wire coming out and just coming back. Now, again, remember, we should be adding beside the big stick a positive, and beside the little one a negative, showing which side is the positive and the negative side of a battery. And now we describe it. Is it complete or incomplete? Well, it's missing half of the things. And we have a battery and wires, but we don't have a switch and we don't have a load. So this is incomplete. Is it controlled? Nope, definitely not. Is it open or closed? Well, it's closed because it's running and it causes a fire, but it is definitely a short circuit. Okay, so those are your three types. Now, there is a video I've included at the end here that I would like you to watch. It's a kind of summary. It's brief. Once you finish watching that, you can go back to the lesson If there's anything you're not sure or not comfortable with, you can go back, take a look, but then you're ready to move on to the next one. All right?